Hello friends, this is Electrical Awareness. My name is Jeroboam Kimtai and welcome to this YouTube channel again. Now, have you ever wondered how discharge or charging happens in a DC battery? Well, I know you are going to learn it from this program today, and I am going to do it just for you because I thought it is very important for us to understand such things as we culminate into learning more on electricity, either DC or alternating current kind of electricity. Otherwise, welcome as we continue in this program and continue subscribing, sharing, and liking this channel so that we continue promoting this YouTube channel to the right position where we expect it to be. Otherwise, thank you for those that have already subscribed, and thank you for always supporting this channel and always inspiring me to continue giving you this information on electrical matters. Thank you so much. Let's now continue. Battery charging and discharging is what we are talking about today. Discharge and charging always occurs depending on storage of batteries or charging the battery or using the battery. So at any point, discharge may happen at a particular time. So what I mean is this: you may not be using a battery, but somehow it is getting discharged. Okay, so but when you have put your battery, especially in a car or a vehicle, any kind of a locomotive, a vehicle has a mechanism of charging back the battery as it runs. But when the car stalls for a very long time, the battery will discharge because it is getting used in one way or another. So the charge in the battery gets exhausted with time. But let's not go to there today. But I wanted to give an information that a battery may discharge even when you are not intending it to, even when you are not using it the way you are used to. Okay, so let's talk about discharging and charging. The battery is made up of a solution of sulfuric or sulfate ions and hydrogen ions. Okay, people may say it has sulfuric and hydrochloric acid, but let's talk about it in terms of sulfate ions and hydrogen ions, because I didn't want to talk about the process of how sulfuric acid is broken down into sulfate ions and how hydrochloric acid is broken down into hydrogen ions. So let's begin from sulfate ions and hydrogen ions. Now, hydrogen ions are positively charged, right? Sulfate ions are negatively charged. Okay, let's now continue. When the battery is connected to a load, and in this case I mean a device, electrical device, sulfate ion move to the negative plate of a negative plate of a battery, and then it reacts with the plate to produce charges. All right. So first process, it moves from the sulfate ions, which are negative. Okay, they move to the negative plate. From the negative plate, then this charge that has been created from the reaction move now from the plate to the side of the battery, which is negatively charged. That is now the negative terminal. And then from there, the charge now moves from the negative side of the battery to the negative side of the device. All right. And then it moves from the negative part of the device to the positive part of the device. And then from the positive part of the device, it goes back to the positive side or positive terminal of the battery. And from that place now, the excess ions are attached to the positive plate of the battery. the ions attach themselves there. They just attach themselves there, waiting for something that we will talk about in the next episode. Okay, when it comes now to charging, we shall see how this happens. Now, the whole process that I've explained, and I repeat, the movement of sulfate ions from from sulfate ions in the battery to the negative plate, and then when it reacts there, it forms a charge. The charge now moves from the negative plate to the negative side of the battery when the load has been connected, and then from the negative side of the battery, which is a terminal, to the positive, to the negative side of the machine, negative side of the device. From the negative side of the device, there's the movement of this current again, or this charge, from that negative side of the machine to its positive side, from the positive side of the machine to the positive side of the battery, and then the excess ions are attached to the positive plate of the battery. This whole process is what is called discharge of the battery. And discharging of the battery is the main reason why the battery was manufactured, to discharge. Why? The word discharge is now what we call electrical production. All right? So that is how electricity is produced. And when electricity is produced by the battery gets discharged at the same time. Now, over time, this process repeats itself until the battery is totally discharged. All right? So that is how it works. Okay, that is how the battery works. That is how the battery is discharged. And this discharge is how electricity is produced for you and for me when we have a battery. Now, let me finalize like this. The battery depends on the manufacturer, and the manufacturer produces every battery for a reason. Why am I saying this? It is because we have batteries that are particularly for solar system, and we have batteries that work well in our vehicles and powering electronic machines direct. All right. So these batteries for solar system may not work well in powering your electronic machines well, because what you need to consider now when you are using batteries is the voltage that is written on them, that is required to power the machine. So you cannot take a battery for 12 voltage and use it in a machine that requires 24 volts. Okay. And you are not supposed to use a battery for 24 volts in a machine that requires 12 volts. So voltage matter, and you need to put this into consideration when you are going to do a shopping for your battery in the market. Otherwise, you will destroy your electronic machines. And if you use a bigger machine for a smaller battery, you start destroying the battery cells slowly and slowly. Okay. Now, this discharge is what we need, but this discharge is supposed to be of the same amount that is required to power a given electrical device. All right. But I still submit to you that as we talk about this, we shall have a lot of topics about batteries that we shall consider. So I will do what I can, but I require and request that you ask questions so that they direct me into what we have to talk about, instead of doing a lot of things that we may not require out there. But anyway, I'll make sure that I do as short videos as possible for you to understand out there. So somebody may ask, I am not an electrical expertise, or I'm not an expert on electricity. Why do you tell us all this? I'm telling you all this for you to be able to do, for example, what I've talked about on shopping, for you to know the right thing to apply in which device in the house. Yes, so this one is for everybody. Why? Because I understand most of the people do not seek for advice from experts of batteries, from experts of electricity, before they go and buy. Why? This is because of the temptation of the people who sell, the marketing people who sell these products on to do with the batteries, to do with the electrical things. You reach there, you are enticed into buying. I have personally bought something, I will not mention what, that I'm personally not using now, just because I did not need it. So should I have gone for advice earlier before I bought, I would have spent money on a different thing altogether. So I was telling you that it's very important for you to be listening to me, and I tell you some small points, small nuggets here and there concerning electricity, because I know very well 100% that you people in the world there require it. Now, I am not considering a lot of pictorials because I want to do theories first for you to be alert. When I do a lot of pictorials and diagrams and charts for you, you will be able to follow and learn more from it. So you are not learning for you to work as an electrician, but you are learning, you are getting information for you to be a better user of electricity. Thank you for watching this video. God bless, and let us meet in the next video.